Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Our first news is Liverpool plan mouth-watering triple deal with Unflappable, star one of two confirmed 2026 targets. Liverpool have already put in place firm plans for the transfer windows of 2026, which will see the next phase of Arne Slot's Anfield revolution continue, and the Dutchman is ready to focus on 3 positions and 4 players, in particular. The Merseysiders may be defending Premier League champions, but that did not stop Slot from embarking on the most historic summer refresh in the club's history. Some 19 senior players either arrived or left Anfield on permanent deals, with Liverpool splashing out some £440 million, €505 million, $598 million, on new players. While a good portion of that was returned through some high-profile sales, the Reds are not done yet, and it's understood the next phase of Slot revolution will see a midfielder made a priority target, while long-term heirs to both Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk will also be sought. In Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai, Liverpool have arguably the best balanced midfield trio in world football. However, the cover beyond them, Curtis Jones and Wataru Endo, are the main options, arguably has room for improvement. As a result, a second report has backed up claims that the Reds are ready to move for Crystal Palace schemer Adam Wharton next year, a player described as unflappable by a much-respected former international manager. The 21-year-old England star is now regarded as one of the best holding midfielders in the Premier League, and is tipped to have a long and distinguished career in the Premier League. And according to transfer journalist Graham Bailey, the Reds are very much keen on a deal to sign Wharton in 2026, while Bailey has also confirmed our report from last week that Brighton's Carlos Baleba, very much on Man Utd's radar, is seen as a solid backup option. In my opinion, Liverpool are going to want another CDM next year, a top-class one, Bailey told Rousing the Cop. Angelo Stiller would do that role, but I do personally wonder whether Carlos Baleba and Adam Wharton would be higher up in the pecking order. Obviously, they would come with significantly higher price tags. It wouldn't surprise me if we see Liverpool getting involved in those conversations a bit more. Our reporter Dean Jones has also confirmed interest from Merseyside and Brighton star Baleba, and there are concerns growing at Old Trafford that the Premier League champions could beat them to a deal. Manchester United were the first club to make a move for Baleba in the summer, and they still see him as a key target for their long-term rebuild under Amorim. There was intent behind that approach, wanting to show the player and club how serious they are, Jones exclusively told Team Talk, in a new update. But the concern is that Liverpool's admiration could turn into something more concrete. They've already shown this year they're not afraid to splash out big money on the right player, and if they decided to push for Baleba, United would suddenly find themselves in an unwanted situation. No one wants to go head-to-head with Liverpool, on or off the pitch. In addition to a new midfielder, the Reds are also keeping an eye on the market for long-term successors to 2 bona fide Anfield legends in Salah and Van Dijk. While both signed new 2-year deals to remain at Anfield until 2027 over the summer, Slot knows that at 33 in Salah's case and 34 for Van Dijk that they won't last at the very top level forever. As a result, the Reds are very much focused on securing the signing of Marc Guehi from Palace in 2026, with sources explaining how Slot has put himself into a very strong position and why a deal could even be done as soon as January, as opposed to waiting to sign the 25-year-old as a free agent next summer. Liverpool are also monitoring the form of Bayern Munich star Michael Olise, with the former Eagles winger now established as one of the best right-sided attackers in world football and having put up numbers to rival Salah last season. However, amid talk of a new British record fee may be required, the prospect of him moving to Anfield has seemingly torn journalists. Meanwhile, Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso is keen to add to his midfield options, and shock reports claim the La Liga giants are looking into blockbuster raids for Gravenberch and Mac Allister. Jones also described real interest in Mac Allister as genuine over the weekend, though was not entirely convinced that it would lead to a 2026 departure for the Argentine, having offered an insight into his mindset. Elsewhere, reports in Spain claim Luis Suarez is personally trying to get a Liverpool transfer deal over the line, having advised a Barcelona star over the potential move. And finally, Liverpool have been given a significant lift in their quest to bring an absolute tank to Anfield after a journalist shared why he wants the move to Merseyside above all others. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool FC breaking news, transfers, and updates from Anfield. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more Liverpool news daily. Our second news is, that's a great sign. Roy Keane has noticed something particularly impressive about Liverpool. Roy Keane has noticed something about Liverpool in the early weeks of this season which he believes bodes very nicely for them. The Reds maintained their 100% record in the Premier League by winning the Merseyside Derby on Saturday and ended the weekend 5 points clear at the top after nearest pursuers Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur both had to settle for draws, while Arne Slot's side have faced accusations of getting lucky over the first month of the campaign, often needing late goals to secure victory. They found a way to win all 6 of their matches since the Community Shield. Keane, Liverpool always look likely to score. Speaking on punditry duty for Sky Sports after the 1-1 draw between Arsenal and Manchester City on Sunday, Keane highlighted Liverpool's constant goal threat as a huge asset as they seek to retain their Premier League title. The ex-Manchester United captain said of the Merseysiders, "The way they've started this season, they look like they are up for it. The recruitment's been brilliant. The manager comes across very, very well. They're digging deep, and they're a big goal threat that we're talking about Arsenal's lack of quality from open play. When you see Liverpool and the way they're attacking, even on a bad day you think they're going to score 2 or 3 goals, and that's a great sign. Liverpool have been wonderfully clinical so far this season. Not only are Liverpool top of the Premier League, they're also the highest scorers in the division with 11 goals from their first 5 matches, with 7 different Reds players already netting in the top flight this term, and that list doesn't include Alexander Isak or Florian Wirtz. The underlying performance figures paint a positive picture as well. As per FBref, the champions are the biggest overperformers on their XG, plus 4.1, of any team in the league despite 7 teams having a higher XG itself, which shows just how clinical we have been from the chances we've created. No team in the division has landed more shots on target, 23, while perhaps surprisingly, only Manchester United, 79, have taken more shots overall than our 70. Liverpool have had to endure difficult periods in all of their matches so far this season, but as Keane says, they always seem to have the ability to conjure a decisive moment, particularly with the attacking options at Slot's disposal. The Dutchman could afford to put Isak and Wirtz on the bench against Everton and even omitted Federico Chiesa from the matchday squad. Such is the Reds' depth in the final third of the pitch at present. There's bound to be the occasional outing where the champions are kept scoreless despite dominating, but more often than not you'd back them to find a route to goal, even on those days when it seems as though nothing is coming off, and that's ominous for the chasing pack. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Our third news is Liverpool and Manchester United interested in signing Juventus defender Gleison Bremer. Liverpool and Manchester United are interested in signing Juventus defender Gleison Bremer, as per Caught Offside. He was out with an ACL injury for most of last season but is back on the radar of the English duo after returning to full fitness and good form. Transfermarkt values Bremer at £44 million, and considering that Juve have faced spells of financial problems every now and then, they might be open to selling one of their primary first-team players for the right amount. Liverpool and Manchester United interested in signing Juventus defender Gleison Bremer. Ash Kilner, September 22, 2025. Daniele Budolato, Juventus FC/Juventus FC via Getty Images. Liverpool and Manchester United are interested in signing Juventus defender Gleison Bremer, as per Caught Offside. He was out with an ACL injury for most of last season but is back on the radar of the English duo after returning to full fitness and good form. Transfermarkt values Bremer at £44 million, and considering that Juve have faced spells of financial problems every now and then, they might be open to selling one of their primary first-team players for the right amount. Advertisement. According to the source, Liverpool are looking to replace Ibrahima Konate, who might be on his way to Real Madrid as a free agent next year, while United are also keen on signing a long-term solution for Harry Maguire, who turned 32 in March this year. Liverpool likely to be front-runners for Bremer. Even though Gleison Bremer might welcome a challenge in the Premier League, he will consider a winning project and Champions League participation as key factors in selecting his prospective destination. In that regard, Liverpool will fancy their chances of signing Gleison Bremer ahead of Manchester United, who are enduring a turbulent patch financially as well as from a sporting perspective, much in contrast to their rivals on Merseyside. With Ibrahima Konate potentially departing and Virgil van Dijk also in the dusk of his career, the Reds require a couple of central defenders, and together with Marc Guehi, Juventus star Bremer promises to be a worthy addition to their team. He is physically astute, possesses solid aerial prowess on both ends of the pitch and reads the game extremely well. His positioning, intercepting and tackling are also bonuses, although the Brazilian does lack a top level of passing range. However, if Liverpool are able to sign Guehi, Bremer's weakness would not matter much considering the Crystal Palace defender brings an exceptional passing range to the table along with the ability to dictate distribution of the ball well from the deeper areas. Juve's asking price for Bremer remains to be seen, but considering how seriously they need an experienced centre-back as well as recently displaying their willingness to spend money, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Our fourth news is Mo Salah and chasing the Ballon d'Or. Mo Salah and the Ballon d'Or. Enduring brilliance of Mo Salah. For close to a decade, Mo Salah has been the heartbeat of Liverpool, a forward who arrived in 2017 as a whirlwind of pace and goals and has since evolved into something far richer. At 33, in the 2024-25 season, he guided Liverpool to their landmark 20th league title, topping Europe for goal involvements and adding yet another golden chapter to his Anfield story. He has broken records, lifted trophies and redefined what it means to be a modern forward. Yet Salah has never entered the Ballon d'Or conversation as anything more than a distant contender. 6th in 2018, 5th in 2019, 5th again in 2022, respectable, yes, but incongruous given his impact, recognition gap in world football. The Egyptian's exclusion is not rooted in performance. Salah has delivered year after year, marrying goals with creativity. Last season, he collected the Premier League Playmaker Award with 18 assists, a sign of his tactical evolution from pure scorer to Liverpool's creative engine. But while others are lauded for their intelligence, Harry Kane hailed as visionary, Luka Modric revered as an artist, Salah is too often reduced to clichés of power and directness. Language has framed him as a player to admire but not mythologize, to respect but not elevate. Legacy beyond silverware. What makes Salah's story remarkable is not just what he has done for Liverpool but the effect beyond the pitch. A Stanford study revealed a 19% fall in hate crimes in Merseyside after his arrival, alongside a halving of anti-Muslim sentiment among Liverpool fans online. Few players reshape both sport and society. Salah has. That he may never claim a Ballon d'Or says less about him than it does about the structures of recognition in football. As Liverpool's talisman continues to define eras, the question persists, what more could Mo Salah possibly do? Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool FC breaking news, transfers, and updates from Anfield. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more Liverpool news daily. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone. Our fifth news is Barcelona and Bayern Munich make moves to sign Marc Guehi as Liverpool's plan revealed. Barcelona and Bayern Munich have joined the race to sign Marc Guehi after his last-ditch Liverpool move collapsed, sources have told Football Insider. The Euro Giants have registered their interest in the centre-back, 25, and have made it clear they want to sign him in January. Real Madrid are also keen on Guehi, as the possibility of him joining Liverpool next year appears increasingly remote. The England international will have the final say on his next destination and will have the cream of Europe's elite to choose from. Crystal Palace halted England defender Guehi's £35 million transfer to Anfield on the last day of the summer transfer window after failing to secure a replacement. But hopes that the deal would be resurrected either in January or next summer when Guehi's own contract ends are receding. Liverpool are steering clear of a mid-season deal, which means a move to a European giant at the turn of the year is now a concrete possibility. Marc Guehi edges closer to January transfer from Crystal Palace. Although Guehi's summer move from Crystal Palace to Liverpool collapsed, the Eagles are increasingly likely to lose him in January, amid interest from Barcelona and Bayern Munich. The defender is ready to join one of Europe's most prestigious clubs, having become a regular feature on the international scene for England. Meanwhile, Guehi's contract with Crystal Palace expires next summer, meaning that January is their last opportunity to cash in on his services. Liverpool also face losing Ibrahima Konate in double centre-back blow. Liverpool are in a strong position to retain their Premier League title, but have already conceded 5 goals in as many top-flight fixtures, showing why they are eager to seal a move for Guehi. Arne Slot's men also conceded twice in their 3-2 victory over Atletico Madrid, further showing their defensive shortcomings in recent weeks. Meanwhile, Ibrahima Konate is edging closer to a Liverpool exit, amid interest from La Liga giants Real Madrid. Similarly to Guehi's Palace deal, Konate's contract expires at the end of the season and talks over an extension have stalled. Liverpool are considering a move to sign Crystal Palace star Adam Wharton ahead of the January transfer window as they aim to strengthen their midfield. Wharton has also attracted interest from Real Madrid and a number of elite Premier League and European clubs thanks to his displays in the Palace midfield. However, he remains a crucial part of Olivier Glasner's plans for the rest of the season, and a move in January is considered highly unlikely as things stand. As I revealed on the latest edition of Football Insider's Inside Track podcast, the FA Cup winners are extremely reluctant to lose the 21-year-old. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool FC breaking news, transfers, and updates from Anfield. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Our last news is Arne Slot drops major hint over Liverpool's next signing. Liverpool weighing midfield options as Arne Slot highlights Ryan Gravenberch's reliance. Liverpool's flawless start to the season has reinforced their status as the dominant force in English football under Arne Slot. 6 wins from 6, including a convincing Merseyside derby triumph, have underlined the strength of a squad that looks well-balanced and carefully constructed. Yet amid the optimism, Slot has sounded a note of caution, and it revolves around Ryan Gravenberch. Gravenberch shines but raises concerns. The Dutch midfielder produced a superb display against Everton, combining technical quality with relentless work rate. His performance has been hailed by teammates and observers alike, with Virgil van Dijk declaring that Gravenberch is in the form of his life. On this evidence, few would argue. However, the Liverpool head coach was unusually candid in his assessment afterwards. Speaking to LFC TV, Slot admitted he wanted to manage Gravenberch's minutes more carefully but circumstances forced his hand. The intention was to take him off after 60 minutes, he explained. Because he's so important for us, because he's one of a kind, you don't want to run the risk of him maybe missing out on numerous games. But then we conceded 2-1. So I said let's keep him on and do it differently. He's been outstanding for us offensively, but defensively he's very important as well. It was a telling remark. Liverpool may have the depth to cope in many areas, yet the influence of Gravenberch on both sides of the ball is so pronounced that over-reliance is becoming a real issue. Slot's midfield puzzle. Slot has been clear that he trusts his players, but this is a balancing act. Gravenberch will start the majority of matches, especially in high-pressure fixtures, but Liverpool needs someone capable of stepping in without compromising the system. As the season progresses, protecting such a key figure will be vital if the club are to challenge on multiple fronts again. Potential alternatives identified. Recruitment discussions have already started, with reports suggesting Liverpool will revisit the midfield market in 2026. Journalist Graham Bailey has noted that the club could look at big-money signings such as Adam Wharton or Carlos Baleba, but there is also a case for a more understated addition. Statistics-based comparisons highlight Atletico Madrid's Pablo Barrios as stylistically the closest to Gravenberch. The 22-year-old impressed at Anfield recently and has already broken into the Spain squad. For Liverpool, the decision will rest on identifying someone who can replicate elements of Gravenberch's game without limiting his own development. Slot will want a player who complements, rather than competes with, his Dutch star. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.